Good day, Ruskin enjoyers. Hope they're right, because it's time to yap about the Sinotype collection. So, by all means, if not everything is interesting to you, or if it doesn't really matter to you that much, just look in the description, scroll down, all the chapters are there. You can see what I'm going to talk about. Basically, I'm going to go over, like, what happens next with the Sinotype collection. Technically, it could end, like, right now. Or maybe we actually reach 18 skins in total. Maybe even beyond. How far could it go? What could happen to it over the course of the next 2 months as we get closer and closer to post-Christmas, January 2026. All right, so sit back, relax, let's start yapping. So, you might remember this video, the first one I made in reference to the Sinotype collection, talking about what could happen, like, are we actually going to even see a full-fledged collection? So there's all the weapon boxes from all the storage collections, or notable ones at the very least. And basically, I have talked about that I kept track of the most recent storage collection that actually worked out quite nicely. This is a playlist on my YouTube. You can go see that for yourself. But yes, I kept track of all of this. But again, that was back in 2022. There wasn't as many people playing back then. There wasn't as many people investing into skins back then. 2025, we've been seeing some very interesting player counts, and we certainly do hope to see it go even better. Oh yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit, don't you worry. So it was still a nice thing to reference, a good thing to remember with behaviour. So, okay, we're super hopeful that could we actually see a very cool Sinotype neon design collection working out. Could it actually turn into something? It had been 3 years. Over the course of 3 years since the Graffiti storage collection, we saw many attempts, but so many skin creators failed to actually get their storage collections accepted. But this one, oh, it worked out. We saw the ammo box, we got the ammo box, and then lots of very nice progress, lots of very nice profit. So this was August 15. I recorded this video talking about all the skins right here. But at this specific point, things got very awkward. It was all positivity here. So if I could just show you this tweet. Do you remember this? I talked about how there's insane buyouts. All the prices for all the Sinotype skins as of August 15. Oh yeah, they were getting bought out. Prices are going up ever so nice. $30+ for the Sinotype firearms large box. What? So if you're only new to the Sinotype collection, if you haven't been keeping track of all of it, this was insane. But it didn't last. So this is where we have to talk about what happened next. So during this video, I'm super positive. I'm super oh yeah, I can't imagine all the insane profits we're going to make. But what then happened was a big surprise that I wasn't even anticipating. I was hoping for it, but God, this was a bit sudden. So what are you talking about, Hedge? As you can see here, this is the rush store where we have the Sinotype tools. But the very next rush store was the very special, big surprise, complete the sets, 10-year anniversary workshop rush store. So basically, the very first rush store where we saw workshop skins being accepted was August 20, 2015. 10 years later, ta-da! Now, lots of very interesting collection continuations there, but you notice a problem. Where's the Sinotype large box? Yeah, things went a little bit funny. So I've talked about this with the current rush store you see here, yeah? I obviously did my profit review. So with every rush store that we see, I go back to it, I talk about what happened. So you can actually see this just over here, profit review, August 14, 2025. Okay, it's August 14. So in short, for just 1 week, we didn't see a Sinotype skin, and everybody panicked. I saw so many prices drop. Well, there was only 6 skins, but point still remains. All of them just suddenly dropped off. People assumed, oh no, is that it? Oh, better sell everything then. And then, after seeing prices rise up ever so nice, it went down. But then what happened after that? Well, after the complete the sets rush store, would just return back to normal. What? Yep. So if I could just quickly switch back over to here again. So let's just go over to here to the August 29 rush store, or rather, I think that's August 28. The numbers on this website are a little bit awkward. Oh, look, clothes is there. And when we saw the clothes large box appear, the prices just went back up again. Not to insane numbers, but they recovered. So in that particular instance, I noticed some very interesting behaviour. People just assumed the worst and just unloaded stock. So with this being August, we're about to enter September time, and then of course the autumn fall seasonal dip. September, October, November, the dreaded 3 months where we see prices drop off real bad. And for the Sinotype collection, yeah, it dropped off. So if I could just quickly, I could look at this. I could look at the Sinotype close box. Let's go to the marketplace. Let's go get a good look at you. Let me go turn on the extension so I can see it all in the dollars and whatnot. So as you can see right here, it should be around $2. Yep, just under $2 at the moment. You sold for $2.49, like all the other Sinotype skins. But what happened? Well, the autumn fall seasonal dip. But during the autumn fall seasonal dip, whilst we did see skins continually being accepted, you might notice there's a bit of a drop-off. Halloween. Do we see any Sinotype skins in Halloween type? No, because it's not a Halloween skin, is it? So, just to remind you, we have had October 23 and October 30. A lovely batch of some very cool, very creative, awesome-looking Halloween designs, but no Sinotype skins for 2 whole weeks. Now, more specifically, the skin creator behind the Sinotype collection, he actually dedicated a week to actually get a Halloween skin submitted. So technically, 3 whole weeks without a Sinotype skin. So this is where we notice the drop-off. Do you see? Oh, sorry, that's something that we'll talk about in a second. I meant to show this. Do you notice how it then instantly drops off? But then we notice this. Why has it suddenly gone back up again? Well, what did we talk about when we saw this, the Sinotype clothes finally appear? After 1 week without a Sinotype skin, we saw the drop-off, but then when that appeared, it went back up. What happened with the Rustor literally just after Halloween? Oh, yeah, we had the November 4 swipe Rustor, and oh, there you go, Sinotype wood. Wow, who would have guessed? This guy. I knew what was going on. So, let me go show you this tweet right here. I was warning people on October 28th, when I saw prices down real bad. I was warning everybody, guys, you got to jump in right now. If you truly want to get like the whole collection for the cheapest possible price, that right there was probably the best time. So you can see many of these skins down in the negative. Oh, it's quite bad. Oh dear, oh dear. But as you can see right here, this was submitted to the workshop. After Halloween, what was going to happen next? Would we actually see the return of it? Well, I was expecting it. What do you think happened? Well, you already saw. The wood box was accepted. And currently right now, we have the stone storage on the workshop as well. The wood box is number 14 in total. So let's just get a quick look at this. Oh, there you go. Okay, I broke it, sorry. There you go. 14 in total. Yes, some of them are still in the red, but we're starting to see more of them in the green. And with the return, with the wood box making its appearance, we are starting to notice prices improving. So with what you just saw there with the closed box, you noticed that it dropped off pretty badly, but now, whoop, oh look, November 6th, whoop, it's starting to rise. Now, it's not a huge significant gain, but it's only like just a few days, right? Give it time. Next Rustor, would you expect? Oh, of course. As I mentioned, we have a stone box. So scroll down over to here. There it is. I click that. That's currently in the workshop. And just to point out, there you go. Like, there's all of them. There's the Halloween skin. Stone box not yet accepted. Not yet. That could potentially be number 15. But as I accidentally showed here, there's the comment section for the stone box. You can see the skin creator right here saying next one is going to be Sinotype drop box. So by the time you watch this video, go look at the workshop. You'll probably see it right there. But that would be number 16. How far are we actually going to go? Like, could we potentially go all the way up to 18? The largest large box collection we've ever seen is the Neon Storage collection. Boom. All the large boxes, 18 in total. Since then, we've had scientific storages, we've had graffiti storages. They did not also reach up to 18. So this right here, 17. Graffiti right here, I believe it was also 17. We're going to find out right now. There you go. And it is, in fact, 15. Technically speaking, it's 16. One of the skins is not in this whole group because this was made by a duo. 1 week, the other guy was the main guy, and, well, it's not visible. Electric box, if I can recall. So there's actually 16 of these. We've been questioning for a very long time, how far will Sinotype go? Well, at the very least, we look like we're actually going to, at the very least, get 16. I also might notice in the comment section here, I also have a little comment saying, well, you know what? At some point, you're going to have to stop. And this happened with the Graffiti Storage collection. When the skin creators were making them, when they reached a certain point, Facepunch actually sent a message to the skin creator. All right, now it's time to stop. We want to move on to other things. So at some point, the Sinotype skin creator very likely will get that message as well. But when? Remember, it's been 3 years since we last had the Graffiti storage collection. Maybe things are going to be a little bit different this time. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. But I'm sure you understand. We'll probably be reaching up to that. But as of now, it does look like we do have like a full collection. But there's also been the question of, could there be another storage collection that comes out that immediately takes away all the attention from this? Well, we kind of don't think there's going to be that much of a problem for a while, because we have the small box collection right here. The Gwamp has slowly been building up his small props collection, and this appears to be the next storage collection. This is, so far, the largest small box collection we've ever seen. I know you might bring up like the neon storages and the small boxes, but just small boxes, yeah. So, okay, maybe for, hopefully, at least for another, like, not another year or so, we won't see another large box collection being produced and built up and whatnot. But there's also mentions of a DLC. Boom. I don't speak French. Translate, please. So Shelby, one of the people on Twitter that's always keeping track of all the things being mentioned on the commits, and of course keeping track of staging, as he mentions here, there is a mention of Boxes DLC. This has been up for quite some time now. We don't actually have like a solid visual in regards to what this looks like, but speculation is already happening, and it went back to French. Whoops, so let's quickly switch over there. So yeah, the next DLC, currently in development, will very likely draw inspiration from Sir Q's very nice transparent AF large box collection. And you'd know that because I made a very special video talking about this, didn't I? Boom. We talked about this. I'll link it in the description. For a very long time, during those 3 years, after we saw the Graffiti storage collection finish, we constantly speculated, what did Facepunch want out of a storage collection? And we've discussed the special ingredient, where something very special had to be done on every single box. A recurring theme that made each box still individual in their own right, but still followed an interesting theme. And I guess technically speaking, with the the Sinotype storages, the special text, the very cool but Mandarin inspired stylized font, could that potentially be the special ingredient for this? Maybe, but I guess it fits. Maybe that's why Sinotype was accepted. And again, maybe Facepunch just thought, yeah, sure, why not? I'm not even sure if the skin creator was actually considering turning this into a storage collection when he first made this. I'm very much under the impression that this was just a one-off, but then all of us were like, oh, I'm going to try and turn this into a storage collection, please, 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 please. And he thought, probably, why not? He gave it a shot and it worked out. This is why I think, like, while some of the people have been questioning, like, why has he made this week and why has he made that week? I think he potentially might be winging it. But yeah. Anyway, so moving on. This implies that Facepunch might be making their very own storage DLC. Now, apparently, it might just be showcasing like a display of what's inside. So it might not be like a skin, but rather something that goes over the large boxes and indicates what's inside. Is it going to be super noticeable with like color schemes and whatnot? We don't know. Again, we don't know what it actually looks like. That very likely sounds like a DLC that they're going to make you pay for. But that means you don't have to spend like, Neon Storage Collection, how much does that cost? Let's go ahead and find out real quickly. So Neon Storage Collection, unfortunately, because you have all the other skins, you can't exactly like look at this and say, oh, I've got to go ahead and spend 250. Oh, for all of that, blimey. But again, it's like that as well. Why not just look at the Graffiti Storage Collection then? How much does it say for all of that? Let's go find out. So Graffiti Storage Collection, almost $70. So what if the DLC only costs like $15, but then it helps like indicate and categorize all the storages in a very nice sort of layout? That might be a massive concern for storage collections such as this, and of course Sinotype Collection. So again, speculation. We don't actually know what it is, but it is being mentioned on the commits at the moment. So of course, if you could just keep an eye on the commits from here and now, who knows what's going to happen? Well, I can say with something very special is going to happen for the birthday. Yes, keep an eye out for that. Apparently, some sort of like balloons and cake and whatnot. Keep an eye out. But in regards to the brand new Boxes DLC, it's still vague. We also have like an artist pack DLC also being worked on. Paintball gun, that sounds awesome. But when's Boxes DLC? Don't know. And it looks like that Boxes DLC won't be finished and ready until the Sinotype Collection is actually like finished. So again, I don't know how far we're going to go with the Sinotype Collection. The awkwardness we've endured ever since we had this Rust store. August 14, everything was so optimistic back then, but now we're just constantly questioning every single thing. But right now, we have noticed progress. So it's very convenient that I put out that tweet talking about like, now is probably the best time to go ahead and actually purchase the skins. So if we could just quickly switch back over to here. Let's go back to that tweet. Where's the, oh, here, yeah. I was warning everybody. What I also noticed is that I actually have, yeah, the price right there. So this was October 28th. This was when many skins were down real bad. This is before we even saw the wood box being accepted. $38. How's it now? Let's go ahead and find out. So switching back over to here. Have we noticed improvement with the return and the possibility of seeing some, like, a few more skins being accepted? Let's click this. And I can't confirm we have noticed progress. It's not huge. And again, with a brand new box being added, technically speaking, it immediately adds $2.49. But still after that, we have noticed like a good gain, right? So the expectation is, from here and now, we can only expect improvement. From here and now, we can only expect that we potentially will see, like, the price slowly rising up more and more and more as we get closer and closer to January time. So I've made some other videos quite recently discussing, like, are we past the worst of it? Evidently, no. When did I put this up? I put it up halfway through October when it still carried on towards the end of October. But then towards the end of October, I put this video up. Now, I do talk about Christmas skins, but I do dedicate the first 10 minutes talking about like skins in general and the Sinotype Collection. In this particular video, again, the 28th of October, I'm putting out to everyone, now's probably the best time to jump into the Sinotype Collection. And evidently, yeah, it did appear to be that. Right now, probably is still a great time too. Again, with more skins to be expected and more people realising, oh, hang on a minute, Sinotype Collection is still going on? Yeah, I'm sure you understand by now. So even go ahead, watch that. Have you invested into Christmas skins? Just saying. But overall, things are starting to look like we're optimistic. Things are starting to look like we're going to see nice improvements. And now let's just quickly go through the details. Once again, will we talk about like what we expect with January time 2026. So, the naval update. It is expected to come out, well, is it going to happen? December Force Wipe, okay? Naval update comes out, a very big, huge update with lots of brand new content that a lot of people have been very eager to get a good look at. Very, very, very curious to see how it all looks, how it all behaves. Like, lots of people are going to be jumping in. But at the end of December, many people around the world, kids out of school, students out of college, people not working as much. I've been talking about this so much as of recent, but we're so close to this, okay? There'll be a lot of people not working, not in school, and they will have more time to play Rust. For a solid 2 weeks, the end of December, the first week of January, we expect to see lots of people playing Rust. And with the January Force Wipe, we can't help but assume, with the naval update being very close to it, a lot of people are going to be very enthusiastic to playing Rust. And of course, we'll see a massive amount of people playing January Force Wipe once again, because earlier this year, we had the all-time peak player count. And everything is lining up very, very nicely once again, where it looks like it's going to happen all over again. And let me remind you, January 2025, wonderful prices. Tons of people turned up, huge surge in demand for all skins, and therefore prices absolute best, okay? Best time to sell. Sweet, delicious profit. Simple as. So if I were to just quickly point out, like, the summer last year, we had some very solid numbers. Drops off pretty bad around September last year, 2024. Big gain in October. We had the world update where lots of changes happened in the environment. We kept the momentum in November. Solid momentum in December. Absolute peak player count January time. This past summer, it was pretty good. We had the big drop off again around September time, but we're noticing some very nice gains and some very nice improvements already, especially with November. We've already beaten last month's peak player counts. That's very promising. Could we potentially go up a little bit more? Are we going to lead in to December very, very nicely with a lot of people turning up for that as well, which will then lead in perfectly for January Force Wipe? I'm being optimistic. I'm looking forward to seeing how things turn out. And I hope you're feeling optimistic as well. Will we see it happen all over again? Lots of people turning up. Huge demand for skins once again. Prices surge. We walk away with sweet, delicious profit. Well, this is what I expect with every single year. Nothing is a guarantee. but we're allowed to be, hopeful. But again, this is what we do expect, and it's happened many years in the past. So, are you upset now with all the Sinotype skins you've picked up so far? Because I know if you were following me with doing all the barders and whatnot, you very likely have picked up a bunch of them. I'm fine. I can afford it. I know most of you can't. Not to sound mean, but like not everybody here has like tons of like funds. In fact, if I just go to here, I actually signed into SCMM. $60,000 worth of skins, Hedge, I think you might have a problem. Yeah, I can't sell all of it. But yeah, you get the point. So wait it out. If you've got Sinotype skins and you'll make some profit, wait until January time. Let's go with, let's endure the force wipe, see how everything is, then consider making some sales, or wait until summertime 2026. Also a great time to consider selling your skins. And there you go. That's pretty much everything. So we covered the awkwardness that happened just after the previous video. We talked about how things like behaved, and now we have expectations in regards to what we think might be happening next. I will have to make another video discussing what happened during January time, as I make another video in January time. Cool. And so that, with 15 skins now visible, 14 accepted, Stonebox potentially to be accepted, yes. I actually recorded a video earlier showcasing all the skins. I anticipated, like I was going to do this video. So if I repeat something in the next 5 minutes worth of footage, I do apologise, but just to get a good look at all those skins, appreciate them, and feel free to comment below. How many skins each have you bought so far? It could be straight purchase or buy orders. And are you looking forward to nice, lovely potential profits you could potentially get? And here we are. Let's now just pan over to here, because I'd like to point out that I have all of the Sinotype storages on display. We'll take a nice quick look at all of them. So if you can recall, it all started off with this right here. We questioned, we thought about it. Could we actually see an interesting storage collection develop from this? Well, yes we did. That worked out lovely. Now, earlier this year, this went all the way up to $30. Could it ever reach up to that price again? $30 once more? Well, I'm not sure, but we'll see. We can't rule out the possibility of seeing another storage collection in the future. Yes, right now we do have the small props collection, the small box collection. But there's also a rumour that we potentially might see that brand new boxes DLC, whatever it might be. Again, what a Face Punch working on, we'll have to find out as time goes on. But this right here proved to be a very successful and very nice looking collection. So, by all means, what could potentially be the next few skins to potentially be made? And will we potentially actually go all the way up to 18 in total? Out of all the storages, I ask you, which one was your favourite? Let's now pan over to all of them. Let's now move over to here. Tools, you had some issues, but you're starting to recover. Clothing, that weird, weak issue, but hey, no, you're here, no worries. Scrap. Oh, actually, how useful is this going to be now? But technically, it's also a recycling box. You know what? Okay, maybe it's not not too bad. Moving on. The armor box, the sulfur box, the charcoal. It's not the horse poo box. No, this is the charcoal box. Yes. Then we have the boom. A lot of people did like this one. Yep, a lot of people are very happy with that. Metal frags. Then we had Halloween in the way. We got wood. Can we potentially get stone? Well, I do feel confident that we'll see stone. Alright then, so Dropbox on the horizon. We'll have to wait and see. But that'll be number 16, I believe. Can we see 17, 18, and potentially more? Is there even enough unique ideas to see that could potentially be them? Well, we'll have to wait and see then. So, that's a wrap. That's everything. We now have to wait for post-Christmas. So, we essentially have a full collection right there on display. Will people appreciate it? And will people buy it out as we go through January? Well, we do expect a lot of people to return, play the game. Could we potentially even see a brand new all-time peak player count like we did for January 2025? But wait and see. Now, one thing I'd like to do is, of course, there we go. Let's just get a good look at all these skins. We've got the lights on. It's night time. I said it many times every time I looked at these. Yeah, it's somewhat reflective. Yeah, just about indeed. But more specifically, let's get a good look at these in total darkness. Yep, they're all on display. It is questionable if everybody can actually read what they say and whatnot. So, you know, you have the pictures on the side here, but on this side where, you know, when you have all your storages stored, there's some issues in terms of, well, I can't read it. That's what a lot of people say, but I can read it. It says meds, MEDS, M top left, E top right, D bottom left, S bottom right. So, really? You can't read it? To this day, I'm still getting new people saying, oh, I never realised it was in English. It's very stylized font. But yep, one quick little look at all of these. And now, could it potentially turn into a very nice investment? I certainly hope so, because I've bought a bunch of them with my buy orders. Right then. So, let's just hope we see a few more. And let's see if a lot of people jump back onto it. Halloween was awkward, yeah. Quite a lot of skins did drop off pretty badly. But again, we were expecting it. The Counter-Strike market crash didn't really help us out that much, did it? And the weird thing is that recovered. Yeah, quite a lot of the gloves and the knives have still dropped in price. But it did recover a fair bit, and it's not too bad for, like, skins in general. But that's Counter-Strike. With Rust, we do have to go through Christmas. We have to reach January time. And then, I truly believe, we'll see a lot of prices improve and walk away with some sweet, delicious looking profit. So, that's a wrap. Thank you very much for watching the video. I greatly appreciate it. Best of luck to all of you. Feel free to comment below. How many of each of these boxes do you have? Like, do you have yourself like a full collection? Do you have a bunch of them in terms of a nice investment? Comment below. Brag if you want to. And that's it. Thank you very much. Now let's wait and see what happens next.